My boss texted an ultimatum the night before my daughter's heart surgery, and I responded with one email that changed everything. My daughter was scheduled for open heart surgery on a Thursday morning. My boss told me on Wednesday night that if I didn't show up to lead the quarterly presentation, I should clean out my desk by Friday. He sent the message at 11:47 p.m., knowing I'd see it before the worst day of my life. My daughter Lily was born with a congenital heart defect. She'd already survived 2 surgeries before her 7th birthday. This one was supposed to be the last, the one that would finally let her run and play like other kids without turning blue and gasping for air. My wife and I had waited 18 months for this surgical team. Rescheduling wasn't an option. I'd worked at Pennington Financial for 9 years. I started as a junior analyst, worked my way up to senior account director. I brought in 3 of our biggest clients, missed exactly 4 days of work in nearly a decade, all for Lily's medical emergencies. My boss, Gerald, took over our division 2 years ago. He was the kind of manager who sent emails at 2 a.m. and expected responses by 2:15. He once wrote to an employee for leaving early when her mother had a stroke. He made a pregnant woman cry in a meeting for asking about maternity leave too early. HR did nothing because Gerald's numbers were untouchable. When I first told Gerald about the surgery date 3 months in advance, he said he'd handle coverage. 2 months later, he scheduled a quarterly board presentation for the same day. When I reminded him about Lily, he shrugged and said maybe my wife could handle the hospital. My wife was a pediatric nurse who had already taken unpaid leave to prepare for the surgery. She needed to be there. We both needed to be there. This was our daughter's heart. The night before the surgery, I called Gerald and begged, told him the presentation materials were done. Anyone on the team could deliver them. I'd call in from the hospital waiting room if needed. His response was the text at 11:47 p.m. Tomorrow determines your future at this company. Miss it, and you've made your choice. I didn't sleep that night. Just sat in Lily's room watching her breathe, knowing that in 12 hours someone would be cutting open her chest. At 5 a.m., I made a decision. I drove to the office before anyone arrived. I accessed the shared drive and downloaded every document I'd ever created for Pennington. 9 years of client presentations, pitch decks, contract negotiations, relationship notes. I also downloaded something else. 3 years of emails from Gerald. Every HR complaint that went nowhere. Every after-hours demand. Every retaliation against employees who dared to have personal emergencies. Then I sent one email to the entire board of directors. I explained that I would not be attending the presentation because my 7-year-old daughter was having open heart surgery. I explained that Gerald had known for 3 months and deliberately scheduled over it. I attached screenshots of his 11:47 p.m. ultimatum. I attached the complaint history. I attached statements from 4 former employees who quit because of his management style. Then I drove to the hospital and held my daughter's hand until they wheeled her into the operating room. The surgery took 6 hours. My wife and I sat in the waiting room holding hands, not speaking, barely breathing. When the surgeon finally came out and said Lily was stable, that the repair was successful, that she'd be running within 6 months, I broke down completely. I didn't check my phone until that evening. 47 emails, 18 missed calls, 3 voicemails from board members I'd never spoken to directly. The first voicemail was from the company's CEO. He said he was deeply disturbed by what he'd read and wanted to speak with me personally when I was ready. The second was from HR, suddenly very interested in discussing workplace culture concerns. The third was from Gerald. His voice was shaking. He said there had been a misunderstanding, and he hoped we could resolve this professionally. I didn't call any of them back that night. I sat next to my daughter's hospital bed and watched her sleep, tubes and monitors everywhere, her small chest rising and falling steadily. I called the CEO 3 days later, still at the hospital. He apologized repeatedly, said Gerald had been placed on immediate administrative leave pending a full investigation, said my job was secure and I should take as much time as I needed. I told him I appreciated that, but I wouldn't be coming back. He asked what it would take to change my mind. I said some choices reveal exactly who you're working for. I'd made my choice when I walked into that hospital. Gerald was terminated 2 weeks later, not just for what he did to me, but for the pattern the investigation uncovered. 16 formal complaints in 2 years, all buried or dismissed. I started consulting independently, took half my clients with me when I left. They said they'd always respected my work, but now they respect me.